Hello. Welcome back to another episode on Reddit Stories. If you enjoy my videos, please subscribe and leave a like. Let's get into the story now.
My 40 meters wife 41F cheated on me while on a business trip and I can't seem to let it go. This happened 2 years ago. My wife had to go on a business trip about 10 hours away for 2 weeks. We have 2 kids under 10. This is a yearly thing to different places for the past 8 years. I know all the people that also go at the same time from her work. She no longer works at this place. A lot of the women that she works with are around the same age or older and are single or divorced. This made me a little uncomfortable through the years. But they weren't too bad. She would tell me stories about how some of them had side pieces all over the place, especially this one lady. I would hear stories about this lady going out of town and meeting this guy at every different opening because he worked for the company too at another location, and they would make sure to be there together. This is where the cheating comes in. The entire time she was there we had daily video chats morning and night alone and with the kids. We laughed and carried on and it was all good. When she came back something seemed a little different. But it was much. When you have been with someone for 15 years you can just tell something is wrong. So about a month after she got back I checked her phone and found nothing. But when I went into our cell account I was able to see all the text messages that she thought was trashed. I found out that about a week into the trip that she slept with the son of her friend's usual fling. It happened 3 nights in a row until he had to leave. They also kept texting and calling once she got home and made plans for the next time she was going out of town. The messages were not really graphic. But I knew the gist of it. He is married and has 2 young kids. I confronted her about it and she told me it was true, and after a few hours of saying my piece I kicked her out of the house. She went to stay with her parents about 20 minutes away and the kids never knew she really wasn't there because she came over every morning to get them ready. After about a week she came back to work on our marriage. She took ownership of what she did. Couldn't really explain why she did it other than he just listened to her and too much booze and promised to never do it again. I travel a lot for work and have had these opportunities but never acted on them and don't want to. Since then, everything has been good with us. I made sure to ruin the lives of the son and dad just to have a win. Here's my problem. I still think about it. Now it's not as much as when it first happened. But it's at least once a day. It's not just the cheating. My imagination goes crazy and I start on what they physically did. I wonder if when we are having sex, they were doing it the same way, or did she do things that she wouldn't do with me? The worst part is that sometimes I get turned on thinking about it. What the hell is wrong with me? Our lives have been great since then. But I hide this deep down and it gets to me. I just can't seem to get over it. She doesn't give me any reason to not trust her now, and she doesn't go out of town since she doesn't work there anymore. Story 2. Business trips aka a cheater's paradise. Backstory. Anyone who has worked in a hotel will completely understand this. I have seen so many times people cheating on their so while on a business trip. In 2 different hotels I worked at. I would have a bellman minimum 2 to 4 times a week tell me how the 2 co-workers have 2 separate rooms. But he took all their luggage to one of the rooms. As this was in the 90s. Our hotel didn't have a voicemail. We took messages then turned on the message light on the guest's phone. One day after this guest checked in, a woman called and asked to be connected to the guest. I transfer the call. Not more than 5 minutes later, another woman calls, asked for the same guest. I see on our switchboard that he is still on the phone. I inform woman 2. Sorry miss. He is on another call at the moment. Woman 2, can I leave a message? I reply. Of course. Woman 2, tell him his wife called. I reply. I will let him know. Then she hangs up. Within another 5 minutes woman 3 calls asking for this guy's room. I again explain. He is on another call. Woman 3, can I leave him a message? I reply sure. Woman 3, please let him know his girlfriend called. I reply I will let him know, and woman 3 hangs up. A few minutes later the guest calls down for his messages and I tell him about both women. Guest thanks me and just hangs up. I always wondered if those 3 women ever met each other. Story 3. Need support cheated on while on business trip. My wife and I have been married for about 3 years. My job requires that I travel frequently. I'm probably gone about 30% to 50% of the time. While I was on a recent trip my wife asked if we could talk and she proceeded to tell me how things had gotten out of control at a guy's house, whom we were both friends with. She claims they didn't sleep together but there was fingering involved and who knows what else. Some background. The guy is also married and has a small child. His wife is working overseas for a while, so also away from the home for the majority of the time. My wife and I have both been friends with this guy for over a year. We've spent time over at his house playing with his child, watching movies, dinners, playing games, etc. As I am gone a lot for my job, naturally my wife spends quite a bit of time with her friends while I'm gone. I knew that she had been going over to this guy's house occasionally to hang out in addition to her other friends, and I had no issue with that, as I trusted her and didn't imagine anything would happen. A few months ago she admitted that there had been some flirting going on with this guy, and she told me she was very sorry and she would never do it again. Me being stupid, I thought it was fine and she was just overreacting and being too guilty. My wife is honest to a fault, which is one of her better qualities. Then a few months after that she came back and said she'd flashed him or something, and she was very sorry and said it would never happen again. I was a little more concerned but was a little confused about what had actually happened, and again stupidly did not pay it much mind and told her I trusted her and figured this would be a wake-up call for her to stop this behavior. Obviously now I'm kicking myself for not seeing this coming sooner. Overall, I would consider our marriage moderately happy. She's not pleased with the fact that I'm gone a lot, but she knows that it won't be for more than a few years. I'm not an overly sensitive/expressive guy, and she'd been feeling down about that, so I'd been working on doing little things to make her happy and feel loved. I thought things were getting a bit better until this happened. The good news is she told me almost immediately after it happened and showed sincere remorse and guilt. I have no doubt that she feels terrible about what she did and believe that she truly wants to fix things. With that being said, I don't think I have ever felt more betrayed in my life. Growing up I was never successful with girls and had some pretty big insecurities about that until I became an adult. Meeting my wife was the best thing that ever happened to me. All of a sudden I felt like I was special and could be loved, which is something that I had never experienced before. Those years of getting to know each other, falling in love, and getting married are some of the happiest of my life. But now I feel like complete dirt. I keep thinking, if she could mess around with this guy who is not a generally attractive man, what possible chance do I have against any other guys she's bound to meet over the course of our marriage? I also have had pretty significant difficulty forming friendships that are stronger than the casual workplace or acquaintance type relationship. I have family, but like me, they are also not very sensitive/expressive, and I am not particularly close to them, though we don't have a bad relationship. As pathetic as it sounds, my wife is probably the only person that I have a legitimately strong, consistent, and loving relationship with. As a result, when this happened I felt like I had been betrayed by pretty much the only person I had a real connection with. This only happened a few days ago, and my wife and I haven't even seen each other yet. I've read some of the other posts here and realized this is pretty mild compared to what others have experienced, but I'm having a tough time dealing with it. I'm not currently intending to divorce her and am planning to give her a second chance, but I know it's going to be a hard road ahead. I had a really long flight home the other day and couldn't get out of my head the whole time. I couldn't stop imagining her with the other guy. I don't think I will be able to have sex with her for the foreseeable future, as I feel like it would just make me more bitter and resentful. We don't have any children, though we'd been talking about trying in the next few years. Now I'm not sure if I even want kids anymore, at least not anytime soon, as that would further entangle me and make it harder to leave if this happened again. She's agreed to end all communication and friendship with the guy. I also made sure the guy informed his wife of what went on and got a screenshot that sort of proves he told her. She's also agreed that she will make it a rule not to hang out alone with any guys anymore. What do you guys think? I know this situation isn't nearly as bad as others have had it. Am I overreacting? Thank you for watching.